Come on! We need to find a path through. We still need to think of the Dalish.
Ah, so that is what you're after. The Elven has been chosen to serve a glorious purpose.
Again?
It's Elganon. He's found us.
And he's got us trapped. The longer we stay here, the more danger we're in.
Shit. There's Blight here. It wasn't Blight before.
You cannot stand against me. Every action of yours is futile. My power grows even now.
Come on!
You are nothing but an insect. Resist if you like. I have an eternity to spare.
Shit. The Dalish need help, and we're losing precious time going around in circles.
Do we know the Dalish are still alright? What if Elganon sends the Venatori to...
One thing at a time. Let's focus on getting out.
Rook, can you hear me?
Solus?
Something's wrong.
I thought I just heard Solus.
You are correct. Elganon's magic has thinned the veil, allowing me to speak to you directly.
Not the time, Solus.
The Venatori are coming. Do you truly wish to rebuff an offer of assistance?
What kind of assistance?
If you can rescue the elves, Elganon is mine to face.
What do you mean?
Elganon! Lathalin! Ma banal avanuris! Masalin Algalana!
Didn't need to get that. Let's keep moving. Solus is going to distract Elganon.
Van Harel, you have no power here.
Whoever that is sure got his attention.
As long as it keeps him off us.
So, the Dread Wolf has arrived to defend his pawn.
Your cruelty forced my hand.
100 generations and still the same refrain.
Again you have caged our people, and again I will set them free.
But you are always stubborn, Fen Harel. Insubordinate, unmanageable, even by Mythal's reckoning.
You have lost the right to speak her name.
Mavalas Ban, Shevgar Fen Harel.
The only reason Mythal joined you was that she knew the monster you would become if left unchecked. She thought to temper your brutish ego. Instead, you betrayed her, murdered her.
Only the first time, Dread Wolf.
Are you all right?
I can hear them in my head. We can do this. We have to do this.
Your struggle is pointless, and your faith in the Dread Wolf is misplaced. If
I think this is it. I think we're through.
You should be near where you need to be. With luck, you can still save the elves.
And there. The Dalish.
Break the crystal, let's go!
The cruelty is nothing new. But what has happened to the vaunted brilliant mind of Elganon the Mighty? The blight has left you blunt and slow. A monster, not a mastermind. You used to be a challenging opponent.
You saw me as an opponent. To me, you were an irritation, a fly buzzing ceaselessly.
I must speak to you in this tongue. It seems Elven is beyond your grasp.
As much as freedom is beyond yours.
What? Were you talking to me? Sorry, they're very loud.
That's them. Kill them. We cannot fail, Lord Elganon.
Once the blight is free, it will rule this world, and you will be its attack dog. You will burn this world at its command, as Andrul did in yours, and you will leave only ruin behind you.
This world is ruined already. Your veil destroyed it.
You could heal it. You have the strength to repair the damage without using the blight.
Save your games for the mortal's dread wolf. The blight is my blade, and it will take more than your tricks to get me to lay it down.
Hurry, move it at all. You saved us.
Time to get out of here.
I can guide you to one of my old hideouts. You can use it to make your escape. The wards still in place there will shield you all from Elganon's sight.
Solus, thank you. Let's go! Let's go! Run! Run!
It's tough being a Venatori. It was their duty to secure the sacrifices. It was their duty to ensure the ritual went perfectly. But despite all their efforts, Elganon was disappointed. The cult would do anything to please their gods. The cult would give anything to atone. Anything. It really is tough being a Venatori.
We'd lost all hope, and then...
And then you swooped in out of nowhere to save us.
He would have killed us to feed his dragon.
Indeed. Masaranas, Lethalin.
We got lucky. It was close. Too close.
Was it luck or skill? Celebrate the victories as they come. They're rare enough.
And tomorrow, we'll have to deal with another archdemon.
And it will have regained its strength. Elganon sacrificed his own Venatori to it. A punishment for their failures. The Venatori who escaped scurried back to Deventer. The Veil Jumpers will fight our own battles against the gods. Any help you can offer would be appreciated.
Might be a good time to see what Solus thinks of all this.
The Dalish prisoners escaped safely?
We got them away free and clear.
Good. Whatever my frustrations with them, it feels good to have helped my people again. Thank you for allowing me to help. Chance to infuriate Elganon was a reminder of simpler times.
You said you found the Dalish frustrating. Why is that?
It is unfair to them. I lived for thousands of years, and after I imprisoned the Evanuris, I slept for thousands more. I awoke in a world that had forgotten the ancient times almost entirely. And those who tried to remember Elven history, like the Dalish, had gotten so much wrong.
I suspect them calling Elganon and Gillenane and all the rest gods didn't go over well with you.
Indeed. To see that the history the Dalish worked so hard to preserve was the propaganda of tyrants was vexing. I tried to explain the truth to one clan. When I convinced them that I was truly Fen'Harel, they attacked me. After that, I hid my explanations behind the facade of having witnessed events in the Fade.
And the Fade is the realm of dreams. Hard to present that as evidence.
Yes. The Dalish had no reason to believe me. I could only watch as they continued to worship Elganon, though we may have seen the last of that tradition, at least.
You and Elganon were really tearing into one another back there.
I needed to goad him to anger in order to distract him.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, while all of the Evanuris were monsters in their own ways, Elganon was the worst. Or perhaps it is more honest to say that his were the faults I've found most objectionable. You have met him now, heard his voice hammering at the doors of your mind, and you have met me. Can you see how he and I might frustrate one another?
He uses his power to crush any opposition.
Yes. He is far more powerful than I am, and he wields that power like a graceless bludgeon. When I defeat an enemy, it is because I outsmarted them, because I was right. When he does, it is only because he was stronger.
Outsmarting someone and being right aren't exactly the same thing.
Aren't they?
All right. I can see how you and Elganon would hate each other.
He has always been what I most feared becoming. Callous and uncaring, his arrogance unchecked. To have that much power and no one to remind him that he could be wrong.
Well, he had you.
And I suppose I had you.
I'll have to take your word for that.
When we first met, I saw you only as a foolishly confident child who disrupted my plans. You were an irritant. I gave you information to oppose Elganon out of necessity, but I expected you to be nothing more than a tool. Seeing you with your team, I was wrong.
I appreciate you saying that. Couldn't have been easy.
The only thing worse than being wrong is realizing it, but being afraid to change. Elganon's pride is no greater than mine, but he denies any failure on his part, and I at least try to acknowledge my mistakes. Your team trusts you, and you listen to them. It is impressive and enviable. It took me centuries to build such a bond during my rebellion. And when I served the Inquisition, I try to avoid entanglements.
What about the Inquisitor? Does she not count as a friend?
She does. One of several I grew fond of despite myself when I was with the Inquisition. There was also Cole, a spirit of compassion I helped adapt to our world. He was the only one who knew who I really was. I miss him a great deal. Josephine, the Inquisition's ambassador, was a bastion of kindness and decency in a world that looked down on elves and apostates. Even Cassandra Pendergast of the Order of the Seekers. She was what a believer should be. Faithful, practical, committed to serving, not ruling. I suppose I did bond with the Inquisition after all, as you have with your team.
Thank you for sharing that. So what comes next? What are the gods going to do?
Elganon and Gillenane are preparing the dagger they will use for their ritual to pierce the veil. Elganon's power is tied to light and darkness. He will need to perform a ritual during the next eclipse.
That gives us some time to prepare.
It is likely to be your last chance to do so. You must be ready for whatever comes, for this world and for the team that trusts you. I know that you will do everything in your power not to fail them.
So now Elganon's recovered his own archdemon, and the gods only need an eclipse to complete their dagger.
We saved the Dalish, though. That's important.
But now Elganon's immortal, so long as his archdemon lives.
And we all know how hard those things are to kill.
We killed Razikale, didn't we?
After losing hundreds of wardens. And it took a centuries-old trap to do it. We don't have either of those. Not anymore.
Just when you think the tide's in your favor, it turns right back.
The odds on this were never good. But we've already beaten them once. We have a job to finish. And 2 gods to kill. We don't get to wallow and whine. Because no one else is taking this fight.
Nice speech, Rook. But it's hard to complete a contract if you don't know where the target is.
We found the gods before.
Not without help, we didn't.
So we get help again. We've got allies everywhere now.
I can think of a few options, but I'm open to suggestions.
Wardens have run dry. Nothing new is moving in the deep roads.
And the Veil Jumpers couldn't find any trace of Elgranon or his archdemon.
The crows may have something. The Antam are moving large quantities of supplies out of the city. Weapons, armor, gatlock. And food. About half are remaining provisions. Enough to feed the Antam navy.
Given the timing, it seems unlikely to be a coincidence.
Wherever those supplies are headed, that's likely where we'll find the gods. Any more details from the crows, Laconis?
They said the Antam have long work ahead. We have time. Also, Biago would like a meeting. At your earliest convenience. From him, that means important, but not yet urgent.
Finding the gods is our first priority. Following those supplies is our best chance.
Not to complicate things, but the Inquisitor also wants to meet Rook.
Right. With everything she's been doing in the south, we owe her an update.
I'll let her know.
Keep your weapons ready. We don't know when the gods will show themselves again. Be prepared for anything. Next time the gods appear, let's make sure it's the last. Mana, hello. I assume Vorgoth's not far.
We have her, Rook. We have her. We know exactly what she's planning.
The Professor asked us to research the artifact that came into the possession of Johanna Hezenkos.
She carries a gloaming lantern.
That bad as it sounds?
They were fashioned in ages past by unscrupulous necromancers. The lanterns steal and concentrate life.
Johanna could use it to leech life from hundreds at a time. An endless source of power.
A lantern that sucks the life out of people.
their very souls. But we know where Johanna will be.
She has returned to Blackthorn Manor.
Hezenkos intends to hold a soiree.
That can't be her whole plan.
No, but I propose a small group infiltrate Johanna's lair while she's distracted and destroy her lantern.
Let's do it.
Vorgoth and I must return to the necropolis.
Hunt well.
If only we could make Johanna see reason.
You tried before. She seems stubborn.
Perhaps that's why she attained immortality, while I quake on the threshold. If I make my own bid for lichdom. Oh, it's no use pretending this hasn't stirred up that old dread of my own mortality.
So let's put your old roommate down.
Colleague, never roommates, thank goodness. Oh, Johanna was never beset by these sort of fears.
Little fear's healthy. You'll feel better once we crash her lair and destroy that lantern. Promise.
Hey, I got word from my mother. She wants to talk.
Have you talked with her since?
Nope, not since I told her I was non-binary. But her note said she wanted to talk about that tablet we found, the old Kunari one. Of course that's what she wants to talk about. We can go whenever you're good.
I'll let you know. Hey, what's shaping?
No one says, what's shaping anymore?
I thought it was a dwarf thing.
Yeah, if you lived in Orzammar 20 years ago.
Wow, just trying to be nice, and what do I get? Sass.
Aw, well, I appreciate it. And I'm doing okay. I think I just need some time to think and sort things out.
Or you just get used to not having all the answers.
At least we don't have to get used to it alone. Huh? I still remember every moment of it. Suffocating under the weight of the Titan's pain. I couldn't see a way past it. And all I wanted was for the rest of the world to suffer too. And then everyone was there. And that's when I knew we'd be okay. That I'd be okay.
You needed a little push, but this battle was yours. You fought and you won.
You showed me that my anger doesn't have to destroy me. That it could be a gift in my fight. And you believed in me. Enough to risk everything. I'll never forget that, so don't you forget it either.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I think about Solus sometimes. He's been trapped by his mistakes for eons. When you're blinded by sorrow and pain, you need someone to help you past it.
But he's too proud for that. He believes he's alone, even when he doesn't have to be.
He'll never ask for help, but that doesn't mean we can't offer it anyway. Do you think he can be helped?
The Inquisitor and Solus were friends. I know she wants her friend back. She's reached out. All Solus has to do is take the offered hand, the simplest thing. And yet, no one's beyond help, Rook. No one. I have to believe it. Or none of this matters.
Oh, that's not good. Not even a little bit. Rook, we have to go. We might already be too late.
Slow down. What's happening?
The artifact. Remember how I told you that I'd know if they started another ritual? They did, and it's big. Really, really big. Arlathan big, maybe.
You sure?
Completely. Nothing else explains that resonance.
Like I said before, Belara, we stop Syrian however we have to.
The resonance just happened. We might still be able to stop them.
Might isn't good enough.
If we catch them early enough, before they've had a chance to align the crystals.
And if they've had the chance?
These rituals need an anchor, with a physical body, so not a spirit or whatever Anaris is, which means Syrian. And there's only one way to free an anchor.
Then let's not waste any time.
Rook, I've compiled the last reports from an informant. You remember our talk with Rana? She had a lead on Alia's location. A place called Sanctum Lucican.
A lost Tevinter temple, right? Does this mean you found it?
I'm pretty damn sure.
Alia can't hide anymore.
Maybe, but getting to her won't be easy.
So where is this place?
The Mirathas Catacombs, an underground temple to the god of night. It was sealed off and forgotten under a derelict building outside the Thread Market. I've had an eye on the catacombs. Alia's haunted them before, but they span the city, endless twists, hidden passages. It's too much to sweep alone. Thanks to Rana's information, I was able to drop the right hints, ask the right questions. Now we've got a sanctum.
Alia's gonna have a bad day.
Fingers crossed. Ducktown's on edge. People are missing. The Threads are putting up a fight against Alia's followers, but they can't last forever. Alia's a powerful blood mage now. If I let her finish the ritual, no more chances.
So, what's our next move?
Meet at the Swan, put the last pieces in place after that. We'll see.
Rook, Evka and Antoine sent word. A warden's arrived at Lavendel with news. He might have a lead on Isaiah.
Then we've got to get to Lavendel.
Agreed. Thanks.